Hey everyone, welcome back to Dev Parkour. And yes, I am standing in a garage, so I apologize for both the background and the audio. But in this video, I wanted to talk about why, in the last video, if you watched the last video on my channel, why I chose to basically copy a bunch of PHP code into a React file, as opposed to just building brand new React components from scratch. And you know, in hindsight, maybe I should have just done that. It definitely was tedious, it definitely was a little bit painful, because a lot of the semantics were the same. I wanted to call very similar functions, I wanted to provide very similar arguments, and in some cases they were functions that I had written, helper functions that I had written, and I basically just re-implemented them in React. But the way I had implemented them originally, they took things like arrays and objects, or associative arrays, which in JavaScript would actually be an object, which meant that there were very, not a whole lot of semantic changes in those areas, but the syntax was wildly different. So I basically had to go character by character. I'm sure I probably could have built a regular expression to do that, but that would have been a little bit slow and boring for the video. I'm not even really sure that that would have worked. So I ended up just going through manually. It took several hours, and like I mentioned in the video, I'm not even done yet. I have it rendering, but I can't actually edit anything in the form, and I can't, there's some of the little interaction features that I built using jQuery several years ago that I haven't really re-implemented in the React version. So that's a little bit frustrating, but the reason that I went that route as opposed to writing brand new React components is mainly because I didn't know what the software did. And sure, you can start with a piece of code, start at the top and read through it, but in my opinion, that's not enough of an engagement to really be sure that you're getting everything that's being implemented by the software. In this case, I wanted to make sure that I implemented all the features from the old version, and they all carried across to the new version. But I didn't know what all that was. And from that time period, I don't have any documentation. I wasn't using Jira at the time. I'm still not using Jira, but I wasn't using Jira or something like it. My backlog, my product backlog, was just the ideas that came to mind. So I built them, I wrote them, I implemented them, and that's what's in the software. So really the only record that I have of what the software does is the software itself. So in my mind, the best way to make sure that I re-implemented all of those same things was to start from the exact same code, just bring it into JavaScript, and then, you know, obviously make it compile, and then make it actually render, and then make it actually work, and then, you know, I'll fill in some of the gaps. The frustrating thing is that the progress curve is something like lots of progress and then not so much progress. So the first half of the time spent, so let's say it took 5 or 6 hours to get where I am now, that got me 80% of the way done. That last 20% is going to take at least another 5 or 6 hours. So it's frustrating, but it is what it is. But at the end of the day, I am reasonably confident that everything I've implemented, or everything that I implemented back in the day, will get re-implemented in the JavaScript version. And I can actually verify that because the code looks very similar. There's kind of a one-to-oneness. I can pull up the old code, I can pull up the new code, I can look at them side by side, and I can see a clear lineage. Whereas if I had built brand new React components, I probably would have started in a different place, honestly. and that one-to-oneness would not be there. Long term, will I arrive at the same place that I would have if I just started with all brand new React components? Yes, absolutely. As I go, I'll find opportunities to refactor, though I probably won't act on many of them until after I know I've implemented a lot of the same interactions and features and the form works pretty much the same way that it used to. So I'll probably hold off on doing any large-scale refactors until after that, but sure, I will definitely start refactoring. One that comes to mind is all of the input fours. Those really, no, I don't like the way those work. Those are not very React oriented, and I definitely need to implement those as true React components if I'm going to continue using them the same way. Now, of course, this order form was built for a very specific purpose and was built for a specific time as well. Interaction design has evolved over the last 5 years, so I may change my interaction opinions about how some of these things should work. But at a baseline, I do want to at least get back to more or less 95% of what the old form did, and then start modifying and evolving from there into what it really should be in 2021, and we're coming up on 2022 now. So for a modern web app, how should this actually work? And also generalizing it to the potential industries that might want to use this. So it was originally built for a photo booth company. So there are lots of things in there like talking about rentals and packages and specifically calling out photo booths and photo booth things. Printers, right? A printer doesn't necessarily correspond to a general rental or a general service order, which is really what I want it to be designed for, is kind of a general purpose phone order, phone schedule a service, that sort of thing, business. So I'll get into that a little bit more as I get further down the road, and I'll start talking in depth about some of the more business aspects of this piece of software. But realistically, we've got a long way to go before we're ready to talk about that. I have a long way to go before I can even consider that. And honestly, progress has been slow because of the move, and obviously I don't have my permanent space set up. This is not even my house. This is not where I'll be living permanently. We're still in the process of doing the move. But once that does happen, I'm really excited about the type of space that I'll be building out. I won't be doing much building, but it'll be a room, an office, where I'll be able to do quite a bit of work, and I'm hoping the quality of the videos will go up too. So stay tuned for that, and be sure to like, subscribe, share, comment below. Let me know what you think. And feel free to tell me that the audio quality sucks. I'm sure it does. I can hear it echoing in here. I apologize for that. I know the lighting's pretty terrible, though honestly it's not awful for a garage, but it's still not great lighting. So let me know. But be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, click that notification bell. There will be a couple more videos that I'll probably do in this spot. It's raining right now, so if it's not raining, I might actually do them outside. I did one outside last week. But until I get into the new space, this is kind of the situation for this style of videos. But I do have some exciting code screen sharing videos on the docket coming up that I'm really excited about, and hopefully I have enough time to do them with the move and everything. So As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.